All right, you guys. So we're back on the topic of Helldivers 2. So if you guys haven't heard or you've been living under a rock, basically Sony, not Arrowhead Studio. Arrowhead Studio is the ones that developed the game. Sony's the one that published it, right? Has come out and said, guess what? The game's been out now for 3 or 4 months, but now you're going to have to link your PSN account. Without telling us. Even though they stated in the initial release that they were going to do this, that they were planning on doing this from the beginning, but they were having server issues. Surprise, surprise. That's, the story of Helldivers 2 in the beginning. The biggest problem is that they didn't say anything about linking accounts from the get-go. Now, if they would have said that from the get-go, I guarantee you a lot of people wouldn't be angry. So anyways, I'm going to pull up a comment my buddy Trout put on my video, which I 100% agree with. Like I said, I'm on the fence with everything because I see the side of everybody that's like, well, they should have said this from the beginning instead of changing it and 3 months later. But at the same token, I do agree with what Trout said, and we're going to go through. I got a couple articles we're going to touch on, so let's get into it. So of course, by the way, my buddy Trout, he's kind of a troll sometimes. He goes, "It's a great day for Helldivers fans. People just being overly dramatic, acting like they don't have to third-party their information to companies like EA and Ubisoft." Which I agree. If you're going to be hypocritical about it, like you gotta also target them and not just EA and Ubisoft. You also gotta look at Microsoft. People need to get real. It's crappy for those countries that don't have PlayStation Network, but I would like to think that they would issue full refunds for the game. Therefore, no harm, no foul. As far as everybody else complaining about it, they're a bunch of hypocrites. Literally, every single person that games gives their information to a third party. Also, keep in mind that Sony's doing this, not Arrowhead Studios. Like I said, Arrowhead is the developer. Sony is the publisher. Sony's the one that actually footed the bill to make this game. Everybody's mad at Arrowhead and review bombing them, which in reality, they're angry. When in reality, their anger... ... There's no more. It doesn't say read more. So anyways, he also goes on to say, I don't see PlayStation players getting upset when they have to link... when they try to play Minecraft and have to link their Xbox account. Which, by the way, Mojang, the people that make Minecraft, are actually owned by Microsoft. So that makes sense. Literally, nobody's... So, I do agree with this guy. Arrowhead did say that, hey, review bomb us. They did say that. Which brings me to this article. Ouch is right in the review score. Arrowhead CEO reacts to Helldivers 2 review bombing. Apologizes for PSN mandate communication. So it does make me really wonder if Arrowhead and Sony were planning this from the get-go. But I guess it fell through the cracks on how they were going to do this. An embarrassing day for Helldivers 2. It's been a challenging day for Helldivers 2 as developer Arrowhead Studios continues to wrestle with the fallout of the unexpected and unpopular announcement. Soon, all Helldivers 2 Steam players will be required to link their PSN accounts to continue playing. So I think it's actually today, May 5th, when I'm recording this, is when new players need to link their PSN accounts to Steam. And I believe it's by the end of the month, May 30th, is when existing players need to, link a PSN account. Video games require outside linking is nothing new, but many Helldivers 2 players are protesting this mandate arriving months after the game's release and with insufficient warning that was coming. Who really reads the fine print? Like I said, I still have yet to find anywhere that states that they were planning on doing this from the rip. I know they said they were planning on doing it from the rip, but with all the server issues they were having, they weren't able to do it. Fans are also calling foul on Sony's reasoning for requiring PSN integration, citing security and player protection, which I agree with everybody else on that one. I totally waved the bullshit flag because Sony has a history of their stuff getting hacked. Leaks, all kinds of stuff. So I don't believe that it's for protection. I do I need to go over to Hot Topic, you guys. I'm seeing a bunch of King of the Hill t-shirts on sale. Bruh, I'm a huge King of the Hill fan. Sorry about that. Today alone, Helldivers 2 has accrued over 20,000 negative Steam reviews, dropping the top-selling co-op shooter to a mixed recent review rating. Oh my god, look at this graph. So, like, for the most part, pretty positive, and then all day, Arrowhead's community managers have been fielding complaints on Discord, acknowledging players who feel their trust has been breached and assuring them that Sony is receiving the feedback. Which, I don't think Sony cares. Sony does not give a shit. Only in fact, in the past few hours, Arrowhead CEO, who has been a core presence and personality in the Helldivers 2 community from the start, opened up about the announcement. And like I said, the CEO of Arrowhead, I actually like that guy because he's, for the most part, very transparent. Ouch, right in the review score. Well, I guess it's warranted. Sorry, everyone, for how this all transpired. I hope we are making up and regaining trust by providing a continued great game experience. I just want to make a great game. Which, this right here is a man that is showing that this is a passion for him. It's not just for the money. And I feel bad because, like Trout was saying, this is 100% on Sony, not on Arrowhead Studios. But this is what I don't get. If this was the plan from the get-go, then why sell the game in regions that don't have PlayStation accessibility, if that makes any amount of sense? So it brings me to this article right here. Helldivers 2 delisted from Steam in almost 200 countries after PSN controversy. Helldivers 2 has now been delisted from Steam in 177 countries following the controversy with the PSN. On May 3rd, Helldivers 2 announced we required link a PSN account, new security measure for griefing and abusing games. Whatever, right? Not only that, existing players who are forced to connect a PSN account access to Sony's publishing by June 5th, leaving players furious. So I guess it's June 5th. My bad, guys. Many have noted that PSN is only available in 70 countries, which leads players to potentially be unable to access the game, causing tons of outrage and review bombing. With hundreds of thousands of negative reviews, Helldivers 2 has been delisted from Steam in 177 countries on May 5th, which being countries where PlayStation Network is not available. So, like I said, if this was the plan from the beginning, Sony, why even put it in those countries? Why make it available to the world if you're like, you know what? There's going to be 177 countries in 3 months that are going to be mad at us. Instead, you release it, and yeah, it just, to me, it doesn't sit right. It doesn't make sense. That's what tells me that this was a half-cocked idea where they were just like, oh, well, there's a massive player base. We're just going to try to capitalize on it. Since the initial announcement, players suspected that Arrowhead weren't behind the sudden changes, and it appears they were right according to the gaming community's manager Spitz. The response from our dev team has been pretty universally negative, and we're looking into better options, he said. And this is the crap part, man. Arrowhead Studios is not going to find any better options because guess what? They're just the game developer. Sony's the one that footed the bill. With overwhelming backlash to the changes forced by Sony, the community is hopeful that they'll reverse the changes after the game has been bombarded with negative reviews. It's not. That's the terrible part, is that, you know, Sony's in it for the money. They don't care. Like I said, it would make sense to me if they said this from the get-go, right? If they were like, okay, this is the plan from the get-go. Instead, this half-cocked idea, and, you know, why even sell it in countries that you know Sony doesn't have a foothold in? Thankfully, Steam is permitting players to refund those, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then it moves into this article. Steam is seemingly waiving the refund playtime limit for Helldivers 2 players. Now, I know I made a video last week talking about about Steam and how they had a loophole and how this loophole had been closed, and then somebody's like, "Oh, Steam is terrible. They don't blah, blah." So like the articles and everything I found about Steam not offering refunds and screwing people over was from like 2016. And it happened in Australia. I don't know all the details for that, but talking with this individual that was like bombarding me with comments, he obviously had no idea either. But Steam actually, here in America, I'll throw that caveat out there, here in America has a very, very generous refund policy, and that is if you played the game for less than 2 hours, you can get a refund. So right now, with all the stuff that's going on with Steam and Helldivers 2, they're actually doing the right thing, and that is they're waiving the 2 hour, playtime limit, and they are allowing individuals to get refunds. I'm not sure if it's like everybody or if it's just the regions affected, but we'll see. Several Helldivers 2 players have reported successfully receiving refunds from Steam despite their playtime exceeding the 2 hour limit the platform usually enforces. Helldivers 2 might have spent most of the year as one of the most popular games on PlayStation and PC, but the last few days have proven the most beloved release can fall from grace. Just a few days ago, PlayStation blah blah blah. Okay, we've already gone over that. This can also be imagined incredibly. I have taken the fight with over 140,000 space for a few days. But basically, they're saying Steam is seemingly allowing refunds. So homie here, excuse me, homie here reached out to Steam support. He's played 97 hours of the game and got the total refund for his wallet. So you guys, if you guys really want, if this is affecting you, whether it's your region or whether you don't stand with, linking a PSN account, which, like, let me put this out there. I bought this for the PlayStation, and on top of that, personally, I don't mind linking it because it only takes a couple minutes, but like I said, this 11th hour change months after the game's been released, and on top of that, affecting regions that don't have the ability to get PSN, that's where I kind of draw the line, and I wave the bullshit flag, and it kind of pisses me off that they did this. And then on top of that, that's another reason why I wave the bullshit flag, is because you have many regions that you sold the game in that people would not be able to get the PSN in to, buy the game, play it, and then change this, right? That's where I say shame on you, Sony, not Arrowhead. Arrowhead is just a casualty of cannon fodder, basically. This is 100% on Sony. Let's go full screen. So, guys, let me know down in the comment section below. Do you stand with Sony and, hey, you need to link it because we're here to protect you? Or do you agree with what I'm saying, which is, like, this is wrong. Like, this is wrong on so many levels, especially selling it in regions that PlayStation Network is not in. Anyways, you guys, don't forget to mash that like button, comment, and subscribe. Every little bit helps. You guys are awesome. I can't do this without y'all. Y'all take it easy, and I'll catch you later.